Alright, it's Friday, July 13th, 2018 at 2:54 p.m. Friday the 13th. Makes me laugh every time. Alright, so, endangered black rhinos die in Kenya Reserve. That is sad. 8 endangered black rhinos have died while being transported to a new wildlife reserve in Kenya. They died after drinking water with high concentrations of salt, the Kenya government says. The animals were among 14 black rhinos being transported from Nairobi National Park to the country's biggest national park, Tsavo East. Estimates suggest that there are fewer than 5,500 black rhinos in the world, all of them in Africa, and some 750 in Kenya. Kenya Wildlife Service vets believe the more the animals drank, the thirstier they became, which quickly led to salt poisoning, although an independent investigation has been launched to confirm the cause of death. That's sad. There's not that many of them left, so each one of them is important. Alright, next article. Harmful Lake Erie algae bloom expected this summer. There's been a lot of weird algae blooms in Florida that I know people have been getting sick from, and now there's a harmful Lake Erie algae bloom. Alright, Lake Erie is expected to experience harmful algae bloom of cyanobacteria this summer. Lake Erie is experiencing an early harmful algae bloom of cyanobacteria that is expected to become larger than a bloom in 2016, but not quite as large as last year, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration announced Thursday. Scientists say this year's bloom is expected to be 6 on the severity index of 10, which is based on bloom's biomass and a number of harmful algae over a sustained period, according to a press release. The worst bloom with a severity of 10.5 occurred in 2015. The second worst bloom, which reached 10 on the index, was reported in 2011. Last year's bloom was a severity of 8. So, it's getting up there with the severe algae blooms. Keeping an eye on that. Also, method of making oxygen from water in zero gravity raises hope for long-distance space travel. That's pretty interesting. They want to make oxygen in space so that they'll be able to travel different places. And I think to myself, they're releasing this now, but how long has the government or NASA actually known about this and, releasing this article now? Alright. The article was originally published on The Conversation. Space agencies and private companies already have advanced plans to send humans to Mars in the next few years, ultimately colonizing it. And with a growing number of discoveries of Earth-like planets around nearby stars, long-distance space travel has been seemed more exciting. However, it is easy for humans to survive in space for sustained periods of time. One of the main challenges with long-distance spaceflight is transporting enough oxygen for astronauts to breathe and enough fuel to power complex electronics. Sadly, there's only little oxygen available in space, and the great distance makes it hard to do quick refills. But now a new study published in Nature Communications shows that it is possible to produce hydrogen for fuel and oxygen for life from water alone using semiconductor material and sunlight or starlight in zero gravity, making sustained space travel a real possibility. That makes me curious. How long have they actually known that they can make oxygen on board a spaceship, and how far have they really gone discovering and traveling out there? Quite interesting. Alright, here's a loop from Tropical Tidbits about the weather right now. You see this little plume of precipitation coming out from below South Carolina and North Carolina, kind of traveling down towards Florida coast. I'm not sure if it's going to develop anymore, but it's good to keep an eye out on that. The remnants of Beryl and Chris are kind of just pushing out into the Atlantic, hitting parts of Canada up here. And some developing plumes in South American and Mexico area off the coast. Also in the Midwest on the north side, there's some rain just moseying on through. Also off the coast of Africa, looks like some precipitation coming off the coast, but I'm not sure if it will actually get a chance to develop, but it's good to keep an eye out on that. Alright, that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.